From KPRC Channel 2, this is a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news coming to us out of the Richmond-Rosenberg area this afternoon. You can see Sky 2 over a police chase. Officers in pursuit of a red vehicle. This started just before 1:30 this afternoon. They are now on FM 762 down there in the Richmond-Rosenberg area. This started just before 1:30 this afternoon is what we're being told.
All right, what do we got? Red Mustang? Red. That's a Pontiac G6. Looks like a Pontiac Grand Prix, or yeah, Grand Prix, maybe Grand Prix. Copy that.
All right, we're told that suspect vehicle now close to Sugar Land Airport. Again, this is all happening on the southwest side, Fort Bend County, southwest Harris County area right now. We just lost the car right there under
Highway 6.
Under Highway 6.
Just went past Highway 6. Again, he went under the Grand Parkway just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Eastbound 90.
So we understand the suspect has already been on 59 during this chase, basically going the other way a little bit earlier in the day, probably near miss there. So now the chase suspect is getting close to Eldridge.
Right, and we just saw the suspect's vehicle narrowly miss a car that was making a turn. And those are the types of things that the pursuing law enforcement officers have to take into consideration when they're involved with these
police
pursuits.
Officer there basically blocking that intersection. So I'm sure that there are police all up and down right now, and law enforcement all up and down Highway 90, because it appears that this suspect is trying to stay on Highway 90. I mean, he's not getting off on 59 or any of the other cross streets there. Went under Highway 6, went under some other pretty major roadways.
And the Sugar Land Police Department, they are now involved in this until the suspect leaves the city of Sugar Land's jurisdiction. So unclear exactly how many law enforcement agencies are involved in this. All right, we see him pulling up right behind a vehicle there. This is what happens during these stoplights. It's very difficult for that chase suspect to get away, and it requires some not only quick maneuvering on his part, but quick maneuvering on the part of the law enforcement officers who were pursuing him. Saw that sharp turn that suspect made, and
appears to be getting
not
on,
slowing down anytime soon.
At the freeway, he's getting on 59 South right now. So if you have loved ones right now out on the roadways that you think or know that they could be traveling on 59, you might want to give them a call or let them know that this situation certainly, we know this is 59. We're trying to get our bearings straight here and figure out exactly which way he's going, but we know this is right now the Southwest Freeway the suspect's on.
That's right. Now taking place on one of the busiest freeways in the Houston area right now.
Several other law enforcement agencies have joined
I can't find him. I lost him.
In the pursuit, and we are still looking for that fleeing car. I think you got him. I think that's him there. And now that's headed, what, south on 59?
Yeah, he is on now southbound 59 in the main lanes. It looks like he's actually in the HOV lane. I'm just going to pull back the camera just a little bit back, Dave, so we can maybe see an intersection that he's coming up to. Okay, there's Highway 6, so 59 and 6 is where he's coming up to right now.
Right. And I am assuming there are still police vehicles pursuing him.
I'm sorry, Dave, could you repeat that one more time?
I said, I assume there are still police vehicles in hot pursuit of this car.
Absolutely, there are. I counted at least 3 when we first joined on chase. I saw at least another, maybe 2 or 3 standing at the intersection when we came through it. And I'm going to just pull back just a little bit more and see if we can see anyone in there. He made a quick right turn to get on the service road at 59 and then onto the main lanes at 59. There's one HPD officer right behind him.
Yep.
I'm going to pull back just a little bit more. I don't want to lose him like I did last time, so hopefully. We are just now passing Town Center, continuing on 59 southbound.
Can you estimate his speed? It looks like he's doing 90, maybe 100.
Oh, at least 100 miles an hour. I know when, unfortunately, he took the right turn. We went left back at the major at 59 and 90, and then we lost him a little bit in that spaghetti bowl. We're trying to catch up to him right now. The pilot's telling me we're doing about 105 miles an hour right now, trying to catch up to him.
As we said, this chase began about 1:15 this afternoon in the 12,400 block of Chimney Rock in the city of Houston. It was HPD unit that began, apparently tried to pull the guy over for some reason. We don't know why this chase started, but it's been going now for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, Dave, this 4-door Pontiac Grand Prix, I believe, is the make and model of this vehicle. Since we joined on chase, has been going above the speed limits, above 80 and 90 miles an hour. Yeah. Only that intersection that we came to earlier did he have to stop because of all the vehicles there. But now that he's on the Southwest Freeway southbound side, there's pretty much nothing stopping him. There are not a lot of vehicles out here right now. So he's got a pretty much open lane of travel going any direction that he needs.
Have you seen any law enforcement helicopters in on this chase?
Law enforcement helicopters I have not seen. I'm pretty sure HPD's helicopter unit is en route to this. I'm trying to get a hold of our pilot to make sure that they are en route. Usually when the officers are on the ground, the air support is usually right behind them. Unfortunately, because he was down in Fort Bend County, it's going to take them a little while to get from Hobby Airport down here. So hopefully they're en route to this. But we are on top of it. As long as Sky Eye has him, hopefully we're not going to lose him.
You say this is a 4-door Pontiac?
Grand Prix, I believe, is the model of this. I'm pretty sure it's a Grand Prix. It could be maybe a G6.
So the wiggle room here is going to be a lot different than traveling on a busy 4-lane highway. And there's a lot of construction down there as well as you're heading out of the Sugar Land city limits towards the Richmond-Rosenberg area.
Yeah, and traffic is slowing considerably, and as he is approaching Williams Way Boulevard. So this is a much more dangerous situation. I mean, vehicles completely stopped there. So we'll just have to wait and see basically how the suspect handles this situation.
For those of you who are just tuning in, time now is 1:55.
Now in the construction area there. You should see that.
So driving through
On
the
the
mud
dirt,
at this point,
basically.
off Highway 59, driving through the dirt in order to get away from police, making his way towards traffic flowing in the opposite direction.
We'll have to wait and see where this dumps him out, because right now, I mean, there's no roadway there. It's just basically dirt, as you can
A
tell.
lot of construction taking place there along 59 as you head out of the Richmond-Rosenberg area.
So I don't know if this is going to dead end, but certainly dangerous for those construction workers if there are any in that area. I haven't seen any yet.
And you can see some vehicles parked there in the dirt as well.
Well, there's some construction.
Part of the construction workers that's taking place out there.
He opened his door.
Vehicle is slow.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get trapped if he continues on the southbound, you know, in the construction zone. And there he goes. He's going to run. Now he hopped over the wall, northbound side, no shoes on. He is now in the grassy area. Now he's on the feeder road and continuing to run.
Didn't look like anybody else bailed out of that car.
I did not see anyone bail out of that car. Only the driver as of right now, and that is who we are watching run. I'll pull back the units, the camera just a little bit to see where he's going to run into. Looks like an office complex, Dave, that he got into. Not too sure. There he is. Now he just popped out on the other side. I did see a Jeep at the top of my screen not so long ago. I didn't see the law enforcement there, but I did see a Jeep there. Now leasing, so he's definitely in an apartment complex right now.
Yeah.
Nursing home. He's in a nursing home, according to Mike Stillman, my pilot, and he's running right now, and this is where he's at. And he's going to, and he's giving up on the ground. He's on the ground, giving up behind this SUV, waiting for officers to come and get him, but he's definitely giving up right at this nursing home behind this SUV where a couple people are moving in right now, but that's where he is, flat on his stomach with his arms spread out, and hopefully the HPD officer will come up there and cut him, but he's done, Dave. He definitely gave up.
Looks like he just walked up and surrendered to a pedestrian there.
Exactly, a pedestrian moving into this to this complex right now. You can see one unit on there, another one running up right now. His hands are up behind him. So he gave up without much of a fight.
Yep. Well, thank heavens no one was hit by that fleeing car. No.
Pulled over in the first place and then leading the HPD officers on a brief chase, brief 45 minutes all along, Fort Bend County into Harris County along the Southwest Freeway. And that's basically where we stopped, Southwest Freeway, just south of 6th, I believe. Town Center, I believe, is the cross street that we're at. Crab River Road, 59 at Crab River Road is exactly where it ended.
Very good.
Nothing made a dumb decision, that's all. It ain't no excuse to it. I'm just ready to go to jail. Because I made a dumb decision, man.
Those are the words of a man who led Houston police on a wild 45-minute police chase. Houston police say this man, 21-year-old Justin Johnson, is a gang member who, before this chase started, was wanted by the cops for violating his parole. Johnson says a month ago he cut the electronic monitoring device off of his leg so authorities couldn't track him. And when police started chasing him today, he knew he would be going back to jail.
Because I was in jail a long time and I just wanted to be free. That's it. I was in jail 4 years and they put me on the ankle monitor for my last year and I just wanted to be free. And I just cut it off to be with my friends.
From KPRC Channel 2, this is a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news coming to us out of the Richmond-Rosenberg area this afternoon. You can see Sky 2 over a police chase. Officers in pursuit of a red vehicle. This started just before 1:30 this afternoon. They are now on FM 762 down there in the Richmond-Rosenberg area. This started just before 1:30 this afternoon is what we're being told.
All right, what do we got? Red Mustang? Red. That's a Pontiac G6. Looks like a Pontiac Grand Prix, or Grand Prix, maybe Grand Prix. Copy that.
All right, we're told that suspect vehicle now close to Sugar Land Airport. Again, this is all happening on the southwest side, Fort Bend County, southwest Harris County area right now. We just lost the car right there under
Highway 6.
Under Highway 6.
Just went past Highway 6. Again, he went under the Grand Parkway just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Eastbound 90.
So we understand the suspect has already been on 59 during this chase, basically going the other way a little bit earlier in the day, probably near miss there. So now the chase suspect is getting close to Eldridge.
Right, and we just saw the suspect's vehicle narrowly miss a car that was making a turn. And those are the types of things that the pursuing law enforcement officers have to take into consideration when they're involved with these
police
pursuits.
Officer there basically blocking that intersection. So I'm sure that there are